It's Friday, November 20th. It's everything you want for your kids and everything your kids want on a special edition of The View. First, tween superstar Emily Osment showing you a whole new side when she takes the stage to sing. Then, kids as young as 9 who turn their bright ideas into million-dollar businesses are revealing how they became tween tycoons. And we're making sure you beat the holiday rush with a full list of the hottest holiday toys your kids want under the tree this year. Plus, kids are experimenting with drugs younger than ever before. So an expert is telling you what every parent needs to know about keeping your kids off drugs. But first, Barbara's revealing a rare side of the Palins few have ever seen before when husband Todd and son Trig joined her interview with Sarah Palin in Hot Topics. All that and more coming up on a special edition of The View.
To a special edition of The View that's got something for kids, tweens, teens, and parents. But first, let's do our hot topics because we're all about that. Now, Barbara.
Yes.
We get to see even more of your interview with Sarah Palin tonight. Please tell us about it.
Sarah Palin and I have been together so much, we are announcing our engagement tomorrow. Okay, if you haven't seen any of our interview, do watch 2020 tonight.
Yes.
Because, first of all, you will meet Todd Palin, the very good-looking husband who is almost never on camera. And there he is, and we do a little interview with him, with the baby who has Down syndrome, little Trig. So we talked to them very candidly about this child and about raising a child with special needs. And then we will talk about the young man who is famous. His biggest accomplishment is getting Bristol Palin pregnant. We will talk about what Sarah Palin thinks of Levi Johnston.
You know, Levi's becoming a gay icon, you know. Because he's posing in Playgirl magazine. First it was the full Monty, but now I heard there's a hockey stick blocking him. I heard that.
That's probably all it needs. Anyway.
He says terrible things about her, about Sarah Palin and whatever, and she answers them. And I mean, what price fame, you know?
What price fame,
anyway,
indeed.
You'll hear that's on 2020 tonight. It's 10 o'clock. Didn't I say this?
No, but say it again. You can't say it too many times.
These are my pals. Don't let me say almost anything.
Yes.
It's 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 Central, and it is illuminating and interesting and touching.
And right here on ABC.
Right here. Oh, thank you so much.
Now, we were speaking about sexual things. Sherry, you were telling us how... See, I just was going to make that work. Thank you. Really getting into the WWE event the other night. And so what happened now?
I was at Madison Square Garden at Monday Night Raw. Do you guys watch wrestling? Woo! There go MVP. Oh, my goodness. Woo! Oh, wow. And anyway, so I was at Raw, and you know, just to be celibate and in a room full of testosterone, to see everybody, Triple H and Roddy Piper and MVP and Kofi Kingston.
What did it do to you?
Roddy Piper still What did it do to me? It was a bloodlust that was coursing through my body to watch them in the ring, and I'm screaming, knock him down, knock him down. And this feeling, Barbara, was just coursing through my body. And like one of the wrestlers, Evan Bourne, winked at me, and I think I shuddered when he winked at me. But if you are celibate, or if you are...
That's
no,
it.
I don't want
I'm
that.
getting you
No, not the same to be at the WWE to watch all those wrestlers going at it. No, don't want a boyfriend. See, because you can go there and there's no commitment. You get into it, you watch it, you get your good feeling, and then you freaking leave. That's what I love.
You know what? There's no commitment.
Hey, MVP.
There's no commitment with Mr. Buzzy either.
Yeah.
No, you know, first of all,
put him in the drawer, and you don't get to him until you want him.
Why do you think? You know what? I don't understand what the fascination is for that, because it's like, don't you want a man with arms and a sense of humor?
You know
and
what? Sometimes all you want to do is get where you're going.
But I would like somebody.
Okay? You're there. You just want to get there.
with me to take me there.
But we've got a lot of stuff for teens today, in case anyone's wondering.
That's right.
All the children.
Well, this-
Bring all the children out to
Just
hear
to show
Sherry
that this
talking
is,
about her
in fact, a
Yes.
kids-friendly show.
Yes.
Your local Santa at the mall may be getting pushed to the front of the line for the H1N1 vaccine.
Yeah.
Not only because of all the runny-nosed little green stuff coming out the nose, children on their lap, but 2/3 of these Santas are overweight and a third morbidly obese, which puts them in a high-risk category.
But that's how they got the job, isn't it? Because they're fat.
I didn't know
They better get this. You're saying they better. No kidding. They better get the swine flu shot to take care of themselves. But also, just think about your child when sits in Santa's lap and Santa gives him a little hug or
Yeah.
keep your
Do you
distance.
remember sitting on Santa's lap? I never liked that. Every picture I have sitting on Santa's lap, I was like this.
Yeah, because he wasn't a wrestler, because he didn't have muscular arms. I mean, you don't want Santa. You want to,
Santa should get this shot. They need this
Santa should
shot.
get it,
And we should give it to them.
talking to people with kids. If your child is too young, don't take this very young child to see Santa. I took my little girl to see Santa when she was like 2. She cried. She never wanted to see Santa again.
Well, you know what it is? I mean,
Santa can be scary.
it's one thing to see Santa's picture up, because he's only this big. But when you take them and it's like going to see Mickey Mouse. Because little kids, they love Mickey until he walks up to them. Because he's this big, and he's got the ears, and he's got the hands, and they're bigger than the little baby's head. And the baby's like,
Do you remember the movie Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton?
Yes,
And
yes.
I always thought, and every
It's a
time a
great
kid
movie.
sat on the lap, he'd whisper something crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny. Very funny.
Because we're having such a good time and we're as silly as we can be because it is Friday, everyone in the audience is getting the new Super Wide Touch and Learn Super Duper computer. It is available in stores nationwide, but you and only you are getting it today. And when we come back, we're coming back with Emily Osment. And that's the way it is.
I love this show. You never know when you go out to do those talk shows, but I got there and I felt like I was in the bosom of 4 beautiful women who really took care of me,
Literally.
I really feel safe with these girls, so I had a great time. Thanks for having me on The View.
All right, we had a great time on The View today. Fantastic. A lot of fun. Sherry, if you're going to be on the show, make sure I'm dancing with you. We'll be great. We'll be awesome. All right, I got to go. All right, I'll see you later, babe. See you there.
Oliver planned a picnic and then a romantic sunset walk by the water and then any chick flick I wanted. Even one where Orlando Bloom falls in love with a mermaid and then sells his soul for gills in a flipper.
Sounds like the perfect day.
I know, and it would be. If he wasn't sick.
Are you sure he's not faking it? I mean, some guys will do anything to get out of a fishy chick flick.
No, he's definitely sick. You should have heard him on the phone. Oh, Lily, I'm so sorry. He's so cute.
She is Hannah Montana's best buddy, who's taking center stage and showing off a whole new side of herself these days. Please welcome Emily Osment. You look great, but I know you're not feeling great, right?
Laryngitis.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm a little sick. I went to go see Dr. Lamb. Do you guys? Yeah, and he was like,
He's our doctor in the show.
yeah,
There
just,
we go.
yeah.
We
He
love
was like,
him.
you're really sick. I was like, yeah, germs on a big tour bus. It happens.
Oh, no.
But yeah. Hey, I'm
But
good
you're a
though.
trooper. You're here.
I'm here. Thank you for
So
having me.
no Santa this year, I guess.
Oh,
huh?
yeah,
No
Santa.
Santa.
You're not going to sit on his lap.
Oh, Santa will. I'm just gonna sit on Santa's lap.
They have the disinfectant there now. Instead of candy canes, they just give a little, pump, pump. I want to ask you about the show, because it's... How many more seasons are we going to see of Hannah Montana? It is a huge, huge hit.
Well, right now we are focusing on January. I think we go back in January for. I think it's a shorter season. It's like 15 weeks.
Okay.
And then nobody really knows. Like the writers are just getting back to
Go
writing.
on
So
until you're both 90, I think.
why not?
Yeah.
What about
Granny Montana?
The movie was...
Why not?
Granny Montana movie was loved by so many. Will there be another?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, right now I'm just thinking about I'm going to college next year. Like I'm you know, got my music, and right now I'm like, hey,
how are you going to do that? Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Going to go to college and business?
Yes, I'm going to stay in California to go to college. So I can leave, and it actually works out pretty well because Hannah Montana, the season ends like right before I'll need to go back to school.
What are you going to major in?
I don't know yet. You know, I love to write. My mom's an English teacher. I'd love to do that. I mean, of course, theater, though, too.
And don't you write your own songs?
I do, yes.
And you have one song that told me about, I Hate the Homecoming Queen.
Yeah.
What was that based on?
Like, you know, I went to a regular high school. You know, I totally did it normal, which is honestly the best thing I could have ever done. I mean, I already got the awesome parents. I went to high school. Like, I'm set. Like, I got great friends. But, you know, those are cute, by the way. Anyway, you know, you learn a lot of things. You meet a lot of different people in high school, and it's just one of those things. You have a spat with a girl, and it's just like, hey, write a song.
How old are you, Emily?
She was a slut.
You're
Was she a
17.
slut?
Yeah. I sound about like 13. I sound like a pubescent male.
And you look so beautiful. I mean, we've just watched you grow up. I'm looking at you
Third
going,
time's a
wow.
charm. I'm like happy to be
But
back.
this is so great because we have seen you act for so long, and now we finally get to see you sing. In the episode, you couldn't sing.
Yeah.
You were a horrible, horrible singer. So now you're about to, you know, sing. How's that feel? Just being out here.
It's very funny. I was doing some promotion for some I don't know, some radio show, and the clip that they showed to promote me was the clip where Lily's singing really bad, like terribly.
Yeah.
I was like, great choice, guys.
I'm a little confused. So you have your album's coming out in a few months, but you have what's called an EP?
It's an EP, which is an extended play, which is 7 songs. It's shorter, which is actually becoming kind of more popular now. A lot of artists are doing that.
Okay.
But it gets the music out there quicker, and I have a full-length album that's coming out next year as well.
So the EP that you have right now, what can we hear on that?
Well, it's out right now. There's 7 songs. Okay. It's fun. It's like pop rock. You'll like it. Yeah.
Is one of the songs you're singing today from that?
It is all the way up. Yes.
Awesome.
So it's not a surprise, really, because you come from a bit of a musical background, right? Yeah. Your dad is a musician.
Yeah. My mom, my dad, and my brother as well.
Haley's also.
Oh my God, Haley got a guitar when he was like 12, and it was never the same.
And now your father is your
Alike.
manager.
You
really
do.
You guys
You look like twins.
You look just like your brother. But now your father's your manager, girl.
He is, yeah.
And you have boys all around you in your band, and you're on the road and on tour. Now, is that hard?
Question.
Yeah, no. Is it hard having your dad around?
No, are you
I thought
kidding?
it was not having a boy around. That's what I thought you were getting to.
No, but she's got the boys around
I
in
got
her
the-
band.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
With daddy around, what's
No, it's fine. They would rather hang out with him. Yeah. He's cool.
He is
I'm
pretty
lucky.
cool. And we're lucky to have you here today. So rest up that voice
I
because
will.
Emily will be back later in the show to perform for us. And in the meantime, we'll be right back with Teen and Tween Millionaires. Thanks, Emily. We all want our kids to grow up to be successful, but the kids you're about to meet turned their ideas into empires and became millionaires when they were as young as 9. Please welcome Maddie and Margot Bradshaw, Rachel Siegel, and the author of Put More Cash in Your Pocket, Laura Legmeyer. Welcome on.
I'll stop when you take over. Okay, so Maddie, so you're now 13.
Yes.
And Margot, you are 9. So when you were 10 and you were 6, you came up with this idea of snap caps. What are they, and how'd you turn it into a business?
Well, they're interchangeable magnetic bottle cap necklaces so that you can swap the bottle caps out. And I was going into middle school, and I wanted magnets for my locker, and I couldn't really find any that I liked, so I decided to turn them into so I took my magnets, and I took some bottle caps from my uncle's old-fashioned Coke machine, and I turned them into magnets, and I gave them to my friends, and we all put them in our lockers. But I decided I wanted my bottle caps outside of school, so I decided to turn them into a necklace.
Well, what about you? Are you part of this business too?
Yes.
You have a big title?
I'm the vice president.
You're the vice president. She's the Joe Biden?
Yes, she's the Joe Biden.
Yeah, listen, Mom. Here's Mom. Are they really millionaires?
Well, we'd like to say the revenue is over several $1 million.
Can they? It is really.
Yes.
Can you keep the money?
Yes, well, we have it set up where our company is an LLC, and so the money is split between my sister and I.
Wow. Okay, look, there are people who say, come up with ideas, and there are kids who come up with ideas. How do you go from the idea into really turning it into a business?
Well, it's a huge business. These are huge.
Yeah. Celebrities are wearing these, etc. Yeah.
Well, I had decided that if I loved my magnets, and if all my friends loved my snap caps as well, I should try taking them into a local store. So I took them into a local toy store, and 2 hours later, they had sold out of all 50 of the bottle caps, and it's just really grown from there.
Wow. Are you hiring?
We are always hiring.
You have to talk to the vice president.
Look at her look.
Yes.
You mean business, I can tell.
How many in general? Are there lots of kids who have ideas like this?
This is very, very common that tweens and teens are starting. In fact, 38% of youth entrepreneurialism is on the rise. The challenge is that most of the parents don't realize that a hobby and idea can really become a business. And the parents have got to take these kids more seriously. They don't have the fear that adults have. They just want to go for it. And most of the adults are the ones that say, oh, isn't that a cute idea, honey? Versus let's get serious and help these
started. I mean, these two adorable ones, you know, went to the school. And
How much did it cost to actually start the company?
Well, I had saved up my money, and our initial investment was $300, and my mom matched it, and that money was used to buy supplies.
Wow.
Margot, what is she like as a boss?
What?
What's your sister like as a boss?
Well, she's really nice.
Margot knows exactly which side of the bread is buttered, I think, right? I want to also talk to Rachel, who's here with us. You are 18 years old. Yes. At 17, you started a company called Doodle Bras, right?
That's right.
And how did... Explain how this all came about, because I didn't even know girls were doodling on their bras.
So old-fashioned.
And other things.
And other things.
Well, it just came about as one of those things where I had a new bra, and my mother had new permanent markers, and we were all just doodling, you know, like you would on paper in school or things like that, except on everything besides paper.
And so, I mean, this was obviously your friends liked it too, and you kind of went with that notion. How did you then make it into this $1 million company?
Well, we started by getting a trademark and designing a logo and meeting with different companies in India, and really started getting it moving.
You have a factory in India.
That's right.
How many people are you the boss of exactly?
Well, I personally work with teams of people there. I don't know exactly the amount of numbers and things like that, but it's just select teams that we all communicate and get on the same page with.
You stop doodling at home and you end up going to India and having it manufactured.
Yes.
That's right.
I mean, wow.
Isn't that amazing? I know. And so how much are these bras? Because I doodled one of my own that I thought would be good for teens, too. That they could...
Do girls wear these bras to be seen? I mean, is it just for personal use, let us say?
Well, it's one of those things that if someone wants to show them off, they can. If you don't, then you don't have to.
I think it's a guy. I mean, I love doodling. I always got in trouble for doing it. I think it's a great place to put it. Your family's here, your mom and your dad.
Yes.
Okay, Dad. So you heard about this idea. Did you think that it was going to be this big ever?
Well, you know, they had so much fun when they were doing it the first time, and it was so creative that I just figured, wow, that, you know, they had so much fun doing it that other people would have to enjoy doing it as well.
Laura, let me ask you a question. How much, it's hard because as a parent you want to support your kids. Right. How much time should they be spending on this sort of business venture versus, say, homework?
Well, I think they need to do homework, and homework can also be creative. I think a lot of ideas get, spawned out of doing homework and being with your other friends. I think the parents need to really pay attention to their kids' ideas. There are tweens and teens across America who want to be entrepreneurs all the time, and the parents are like, oh, isn't that a cute idea? So, and a lot of these can be started with no money. So to your question about how much time, I think 2 to 3 hours a day, they can be brainstorming. I'd rather have them doing that than, just sitting and doing nothing.
Yeah, Gracie's 4 years old. She's not doing anything.
She's got some ideas.
You can start with no money. You can really, I think for the parents, you got to take them serious. You got to be very serious, and you have to lead. As you can tell with the case of these, all three of them, their parents were very involved. And legally, you have to be involved. They have to help them set up the LLCs, the bank accounts. And the more that the parent can get involved and really help them, and go online, see what else everybody else is doing. I think that's a great activity for the family to do, to start generating those ideas. Go online and then get to the community. Let the community know you're doing this. That's where she's sold.
But protect their ideas first, because there are people who will try to, capitalize on there. Just make sure that patent and trademark is taken care of.
Maddie, what's your next idea?
Well, we are actually working with some licensing so that our snap caps appear on other items besides just bottle caps.
Wow, you are one smart cookie. I love it. That is amazing. You guys are going to do incredible business. Advice for teens and kids, flat out, if they've got an idea, go to parents first, right?
Go to parents first and then get online. So somebody else is already doing it. So there's already a lot of information from pricing to how to trademark. A lot of that is already free. It's information online. And then get a goal. I would say $1,000 a month is only $50 a day. So that kind of comes into that time question, Elizabeth, is how much time is it really going to take to produce $50? That's an extra $1,000 a month that you can put away for college. And then number 3, get to your community. You know, create a little press release, let your newspaper, your local news TV show, let them know. A lot of these are, you know, really easy startups.
I have an adorable vice president as well as the president.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Do good hiring.
We're proud of you. This is smart young women here, and we're happy to show their stuff. For more information on these companies, check out our website, and everyone in our audience is going home with a doodle bra, snap caps, and Laurel's book. We'll be right back with the hottest stories of the holidays. It's impressive.
I'm about to go on. About to sing.
Are you nervous? Because I know your voice.
A little bit, yeah, because this is not doing so well, but we'll pull it together. We'll rock.
Shopping days till Christmas, and right now we are giving you a big head start with the hottest toys on every kid's wish list this year. I'm excited. Here to show us what they are, please welcome toy expert Elizabeth Werner. Hey, girl.
Thank you so much.
All right. So we got all these toys, and it just seems like toys don't have to cost a lot to be great.
That's right. Pretty much everything we're going to see here is under $30, and parents should be looking for those great deals this year.
Yes, that's what we want.
So we can jump right in with Elmo Tickle Hands. Now, each one of you take a set of these hands. Go ahead here. Just slide these right on your hands. You can leave your thumbs out because these are made for the little ones.
Wait, this is vibrating.
Now they
Told you.
Now they vibrate. Giggling and laughing, but check this out. Elmo's gonna take us and teach us a brand new dance. We put these hands on, push his nose, and we're gonna follow along to that cute video.
How much is this?
These are $29.99.
$29.99.
So a lot of
This
fun.
is great.
Get your kids up and active. So these are great.
I like these.
Laughing with Elmo. This is Scribble and Write. This is by Leapfrog, and this is going to teach our children how to write their letters with LED lights. Watch this. What they're going to do is they're going to just turn it on, and once they turn it on, the light.
Letter to learn how to write it. Oh, make a circle.
So they're going to be able to trace along with the letters as well. And then when they're done, it's going to tell them the sounds.
And this is $21.99.
So great price for this,
great.
and they can carry this with them everywhere.
This I'm really interested in.
I want to know.
The one problem we all have at home, we have broken crayons. What do we do with them? They sit in a bucket. Now Crayola's come up with a crayon maker. We open it up. We take those old crayons. We pop them right inside. We shut the lid.
Right.
Once we shut this lid, a safety latch comes on. We melt the crayons. Once they're done melting, when you hear that ding, we're going to pour them into a mold, and those are going to become brand new crayons.
I love it.
That's the mold that they pop out of, and there are our new crayons.
Love it.
Yay!
Oh, this is the one you want. This is mine. I marked it already.
That is great. Yes. So you never have to worry about broken crayons.
Right.
You
Now
just
we're
keep
going to make new ones.
recycling them.
Or if you do break them, you make them, mush them up, make new colors.
recycle them all over.
A lot
You
of
keep
fun.
using them. All right.
So now we're going to come over here to these.
Okay. I'm a little curious about because this is like
absolutely
rodential.
by far the hottest toy of the season.
Right,
These are Zuzu Pets. Yes, brought to us by a very small family-owned company. So go ahead, grab a pet. Grab a pet. Now we're going to interact with these. We're going to nurture them by petting their head. They're going to make cute little sounds. But then we are going to get them up and moving. We're going to push a little button in their back, put them down, and they are going to start moving all over the place. These little guys, they're going to move into...
He's not well.
Your little guy's not moving. He's not moving. Here we go. So each one of these, they're going to move. They make over 40 sounds. climbs up different towers. They're going to drive cars. And the kids are loving these because they're so interactive and they can nurture them. And there's no mess.
Oh, I love
a pet
that.
with no mess.
So this will keep him going for hours. This one right here.
He's
Oh, look, he's driving the car. I love
my
it.
baby, have a good
What's
ride.
going on over here? What is this?
Here's your ladle. All right, so Meatball Madness. I love this game. We are going to make meatballs. We're going to move them from one place to another with our air-powered ladle. We're going to pick up these meatballs.
What else do we got?
So we have TV motion games. Love these because... So we plug these right into the TV. Once they plug into the TV, we're going to be able to play games just like an interactive game, but we don't need the whole full console. So these plug directly into the TV. Once they plug in, children are going to be able to get up and active and move the game around.
Nice.
There we go. So here it is. This is the Star Wars game, but you gotta move your body. No more couch potatoes.
So you get a good workout.
What is over there?
All these different ones. They have every different cool theme for kids. SpongeBob, Spider-Man, you name it. You can sing. Everything. Yes.
Elizabeth, come get this one.
SpongeBob. So,
What's his?
Now, this year, there are a lot of great new dolls out. Girls are loving these. These are called Live Dolls. Live Dolls are teenagers. They're online on liveworld.com. But here's what they love. They love the hair play. All these dolls have these awesome wigs. Yes, awesome wigs. So we're going to be able to take these wigs and put them onto the dolls. Yes. Put them onto the dolls, and then the girls can transform and change. There's a little nub in the inside that you have.
The afro wig.
Where's the afro?
You gotta get an
I didn't
afro.
put all the wigs out, I have to admit.
but
But
there's a lot
of them.
A lot of different wigs, and all different colors, styles, everything.
This is nice. I like this one.
This is what I'm all about.
Do we have any hot ticket ones?
This is the hot ticket item. Everything else has been under 30. This is PSP Go, brand new. Yes. So they're excited. They're excited. They know. Here you go. You can hold one up. Right. Exactly. So they're so excited. You all must know. You must have heard. This is brand new. This is going to do to gaming what the iPod did to music. We now download our games, and we're able to play our games without carrying cartridges. We're not going to lose anything anymore. We have Little Big Planet that we're showing today. Yeah. And these are amazing. They have Wi-Fi. You can download videos and music. They are
This is
just
nice, and you just
amazing.
close it up and put it in your pocket.
The size of the
That's
last
what I just
PSP.
did.
You did. I like this. Wow. It's 3D. And you know what, you guys? For more information on any of these toys, you can go to our website. So you can go to our website to find out the information. But guess what? Everybody in our studio audience is going on with everything. We will be right back.
It is the #1 concern of parents in this country, and that is, will my kid get on drugs or drinking, and what do I do about it? So now, the founder of the National Center, I want to make sure I have it right, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse has information you need to know in this new book, How to Raise a Drug-Free Kid, The Straight Dope, and it comes from a very good friend of mine, Joseph Califano.
Barbara, nice to be
Right.
here.
Joe and I go back a long way because Joe, in case the name sounds familiar, Secretary Califano was the Secretary of Health, Education, and Welfare back in the 1970s. So this book, How to Raise a Drug-Free Kid, you've said that it's getting younger and younger, boys and girls pretty much the same, but it's as young as 10 or 12?
Well, because these substances are so available. We used to have a big gender gap between girls and boys. Girls use a lot less than boys. Now it's the same.
It's the same.
The same. 12 to 17-year-olds, girls are just as likely to smoke, drink, and use drugs
What
as
are they
boys
using the
are.
most?
Well, beer, alcohol is #1. There's nothing close to alcohol.
I mean, that opens a door for others, do you think, with kids? Because some people say it is a gateway and it's not.
Is there an age?
And pills, there's the biggest increase in recent years is pills, because kids think the OxyContin is, safer because the FDA has it, or it's in mommy's medicine cabinet. And they get them from mommy and daddy's medicine cabinet.
Is there an age where kids are most vulnerable to
Well,
doing
there are times. There are times. For example, the first time in elementary school, the first 4 grades, kids gonna come home and say, "Mommy, stop smoking. Daddy, why are you drinking beer? What have you?" But then that first 6 months of middle school, that kid is going to see there'll be a very pretty girl who's in 8th grade, and she'll smoke, and she'll be popular, and they'll say, "Wait." And then there'll be a guy that's a great athlete, and he'll drink beer, and they'll say, "Wait a minute." They start to say, maybe it's not all bad. I don't know. And parents should be there then, should realize what their kids are seeing so they can talk to them about it.
How do you bring it up? Like, what would you say is the best way for a parent to tackle this?
There are lots of opportunities. I mean, you bring it up certainly when you're talking to your kids, when you're having dinner with them. Whenever they get interested or when they see something, they're seeing a lot of stuff on television. They watch the evening news. There are 100 teachable moments every week on the evening news.
Right. So now, what if your kid comes up to you and says, "Ma, did you ever try weed?"
Okay.
Should you lie?
No. Let me tell you. The first thing you should do. That's very important, Whoopi. That kid is asking you not because she's or he's interested in that. Something's going on in your kid's life.
For them to even ask it.
Yeah, because they're asking you that because they've been offered something or they're headed for a party where there's going to be something available. First find out. First say, that's a good question. Why are you asking that? Find out. Because either a friend is using, and then, yes, be honest. Absolutely be honest. You don't have to tell them everything, Joy. You don't
tell them anything.
You don't, but tell them about the dangers.
You had that look, Joy. You had that look.
Tell them about the dangers, and you don't tell them everything about your sex life. You don't tell them everything about your finances.
No, I do that on television. But you say that if you can keep a kid off of drugs, alcohol, and tobacco to the age of 21, then they will never use any of that.
Virtually, sir. That's
how do you do that? That's that's old.
That's what led to this book. We learned after 20 years of research, a kid who gets through age 21 without smoking, without using illegal drugs, without abusing alcohol, most of them going to drink, that kid's virtually certain to be home for the rest of his or her life.
I went through this, and I've written about it, and my daughter, who is so wonderful now, went through this. And when I first asked her, what's the first thing kid does? No. So if you find out that your child is doing something, whether it's drinking or secretly, smoking grass, whatever, what do you do?
Well, I think if you, God willing, you got the resources, you get help pretty fast. If you ask your kid and they lie, they're going to be inclined to lie if they're using it. It's the first time. If you find out or think it's more than once or twice, get some help. Go to your doctor. You can call Al-Anon. You can do all kinds of things, but get some help. This is not something you can just deal with.
What happens in a situation where, because, alcohol is readily available in a child's house. Parents have their little wine or cocktails or whatever. Cigarettes are legal. So what do you do when they see mommy with a cocktail?
Or a cigarette.
Or a cigarette.
Well, we know that kids whose parents smoke are much likely to smoke. The drinking, it depends. I mean, if daddy rushes home and has to have 3 martinis before he can cool down, or mommy needs...
Like the good old days.
Yeah, that's right.
The bad men days.
That kid, by the time that kid is 3 years old, he or she will know that's how you relax. When the kid's binging in high school under pressure. But the ordinary person that has a beer or a glass of wine, that's fine.
But it's better if the parents teach the children about the risks of all of these abuses, right?
Yeah. The kids that find out about this stuff from their parents, that goes to every parent here, are much less likely to use it.
One of the things that Mr. Califano says is, have dinner with your kids. Have meals with your kids. Spend time with your kids, right?
The number one is be engaged in your kid's life. And the more often kids have dinner with their parents, the less likely they are to smoke, drink, or use drugs.
Stop how to raise a drug-free kid, and everyone in our audience is going home with this book.
Just stepping out in the spotlight and showing she can rock the house all by herself. Here to perform all the way up, please welcome back Emily Osment.
CD. Please don't forget to watch my interview with Sarah Palin on 20/20 at 10 p.m. on ABC. Thank you, darling. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy The View.